PriceBed.com. Yes, it is, James. We're back.
We're back.
We're back, baby. We're back.
We're back, baby.
Oh, man, I feel strong. I feel real strong.
Do you? Me too. Want to know why?
Did you get an IV?
I got an IV.
What'd you get? What'd you get this morning?
B's, C's.
Yeah, a lot of the letters.
A's.
You bet you did.
And I don't know. I said, give me the Richard Nixon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me the Joe Montana.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
give me the I've been partying hardcore for 50 years.
Sure. So the
What
two
would
guys
you
you
give
just
me?
named, by the way, definitely don't party for like ever. They've never partied.
Joe Montana?
No, boring white guy.
Who am I thinking of?
Joe Namath.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then who's the other one I'm thinking of?
Well, not Richard Nixon.
No, I don't know
If
why.
you're looking for a partying president,
But look.
Bush,
I don't know. I'm
G-dubs.
for some reason, I don't know why, but when I think of like taking an IV and like getting on stage or going on with your day, I don't know why I think of Richard Nixon, but I do. Like,
Oh, if you're going presidents who needed drugs to perform, it's JFK.
JFK.
So you were close. You were
Okay,
close
so
in-
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's JFK.
To where, like,
JFK is
he
the
needed
guy
to
who needed
make it-
So he needed shots of his was B12. So he was
Okay,
getting
well, that's
B12
what I
in the
got.
ass.
That's
no,
what I
no.
got.
He was getting it like twice a day. So
I don't
morning,
know why you would need it twice a day. Like, it kind of is what it is.
I guess he had some form of bone issue, like.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Whoa!
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Hi-yo. Bing, bing. No, he had some hip problem or whatever, and he didn't have time to get the surgery. Therefore, he was blasting away at this, and he wanted to be at peak performance in the office. So he was getting shots of B12 in the ass, him and Marilyn Monroe, and then they were just fucking all the time because he had tons of energy. But the problem with that is you're not getting a lot of sleep. So they said he was averaging somewhere in the 3-hour range a night, 3 to 4. But he had a lot of shit going on. I mean, we almost went to war with a nuclear war with Russia. So
with Russia.
he had a lot going on with the Bay of Pigs and all that other shit. And then, he got his fucking head blown off. So
Yeah.
that happened,
B12 cannot, stop that from happening,
Can't
right?
stop a guy from the seventh story of a book depository.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
By the way, shout out to Lee Harvey Oswald, who did say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
It's on my wall. It's on my wall with him winking, like that winky face when he got shot.
Yeah. Oh, I went to the Frank Institute, I have to say.
Flank.
Frank. We had Dr. Frank on.
Oh, is he on tonight?
On the Broettes tonight.
Okay. He's great.
He's
our
great.
doctor. Yeah.
He's just
Private doctor.
Yeah, he's just such a fucking cool guy.
Positive.
And he really
great
answers
dude.
every question that
Yeah.
we had or any of the listeners had about why a piece of pizza makes us gain 40 pounds now. Or like
Right.
why the
Super knowledgeable and great.
smell of our
hair.
husband's skin makes
Yeah.
us want to kill him.
Yeah,
Do you know what
exactly.
I'm saying? Like, and that's not natural, right?
No, but it's thoughtful.
But it happens
Yeah,
when
it's
your
thoughtful.
hormone levels get low.
Yeah.
The breathing, whatever it is, whatever pattern, whatever it sounds like, loud, quiet, whatever.
Yep.
Will get you killed.
No, I understand that.
You know what I'm
I understand
saying?
that,
So, yeah.
Drinking water loudly. That gets people killed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. There's
There's always that one thing that's the other person does that you're not amped about.
sneezing
Yeah. Exactly.
so loudly.
By the way, I hate my sneezes too. So
Yeah.
At least I'm in the same ballpark as
Don't you feel like there's something you can do
You don't
about
mind
it?
the way you drink water.
No, I hate it, but there's nothing I can do. It's like your sneezes. It's
gotta
like
open up.
there's nothing I can do.
Nah,
Oh, well,
if
you
you
got to
open
like
up.
stifle it a little bit.
I
can't
try
just-
to.
Don't
It's-
have it be through
you know
your
what I'm-
mouth.
You know what I'm
So much.
You know what I'm
Do it through your
afraid
nose.
of? You know what I'm afraid of?
Your brain coming through your nose.
No,
Because that's what
my
it sounds like and it
eyeballs
feels like.
shooting out of my face against the wall. There was something as a kid where I sneezed really hard and I felt like my eye came out of the socket a little bit and it freaked me out and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to figure this out or my eyes are gonna splatter all over somebody. like splatter all over somebody. Speaking of which,
Right.
want to give a shout out to my homie Tyler Cornack. His movie just premiered last night on demand. It's on Amazon. It's on iTunes. You have to rent it or buy it. It just came out last night. Butt Boy. It is absurdist humor. If you're not familiar with what that is when you play everything like a drama in the most ridiculous situation, which heightens the comedy. And it's about a man who is addicted to stuffing things up his ass.
I liked it better than Uncut Gems.
We'll get to that in a second.
Just saying. No, I'm just saying, like, it's as far as like a tense thrill ride.
Sure. And look, it was. And the ending was unbelievably shocking of Butt Boy. And it gave the people what they wanted out of that. And for his first film out, it was fucking phenomenal. And I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what that guy does in the future, man. Because it's we need more filmmakers out there like that who are willing to take risk. Because I don't know financially what that movie is going to bring in. It is very niche and is for a very specific fan of that style of comedy, which I am. And the only thing I could really compare it to was kind of The Comedy by Tim and Eric when they were making fun of independent movies at Sundance, and then the movie actually got into Sundance.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can kind of compare it to, but they went hardcore, over the top, dramatic, and the back third of that movie just gets so fucking gnarly that I was just like, I loved it. So I personally was a fan of it, and God, what a great goddamn first effort for a movie. I hope he gets to make more, man. I enjoyed it. But what we didn't enjoy was Uncut Gems. Sandler was awesome. And shit, he could have won a fucking Oscar. For real.
The movie was better. If the movie was better. People couldn't. They couldn't.
All right, so who won best? Who was best actor this year? I know. Oh, it was Joaquin Phoenix. Shit.
Oh, you can't.
You weren't going to be Joaquin Phoenix.
He wouldn't have won anyways.
But he should have been nominated.
He should have been nominated, but who would you knock out to put him in? Do you know what I'm saying?
Who was he up against?
Let's just look-see real quick at the best.
Pull up the 2020 best male actors.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you who can get the fuck out of there in a second. 2020 male actors. And if I find this before everybody. Did you find it, Japes? If you were the winner on this, I'm going to fucking lose my mind.
No, I mean, did I?
No, neither of you did. So we got, how is that possible?
I got it. I have it right.
Well, what is it? Fire away. What do you got?
I have it right.
So we had Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro. So this is all.
Tom Hanks. No, Robert De Niro was not nominated for an Oscar.
He was not.
No.
So best actor in a leading role: Antonio Banderas, Leonardo DiCaprio, Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jonathan Pryce. I would take Adam Driver out of there.
Take Adam Driver.
Adam Driver was just.
I'd take that fucking
Adam Driver
old man out of there.
I didn't see that movie.
I watched part of it. It's on Netflix. It's
body of work wise. Jonathan Pryce has been doing it doing it well for a very long time.
He has, but
so
one would argue.
But you know, there always has to be a body of work person in there, right?
Sure, but one would argue Sandler. And look, has he made the best movies? No, he has not. But has he made fucking at least 15 hit movies? Yes, he has. And one could argue, hey, man, just box office wise for what he's done for comedy in that industry,
right?
In the industry being Hollywood, yes, you could nominate him for body work, absolutely. And I thought he was fantastic in that role. It was finally a character that he played, other than the
he kind of was. It was just
it was grimy, fucking
worked. Yeah,
great. He was great. The problem was the script was not, and it was unbelievable. And at one point, you looked at me and you were like, "Hey, man, would this ever happen in a million years?" And I was like, in betting and basketball, and I go, "No." Even the bets he was making, no one would make those bets.
Right.
No one. That's like I wouldn't tell anyone on Drinkin Bros Sports, even for funsies. You know, I'd say put $10 on that maybe for funsies. You'd have a better shot at picking the fucking lottery than one of those things coming through.
Right.
That he was betting on in that movie, and I was like, who was your fucking gambling guy on set for that? You know.
Yeah,
but either way, I will say this: the way that movie was shot, you were tense for 2.5 hours straight because of the blaring music, which I've never heard before.
Never heard. It was
keeping everybody's mics on in all of the scenes and not having individual audio tracks. It is They never do that in movies. And I was like, shit. It was a cool choice, and I liked it, and it was shot really well.
Yeah.
The script wasn't very good. It didn't have a story. And you were like, I can't fucking do this anymore. I'm out of here.
No.
But I stayed and watched the ending, and
I actually watched the ending too, and I was just disappointed. I was mad. I went to bed mad.
yeah.
Mad that I had gone on that ride, and I was just pissed the whole time, and I was like, it was loud.
Yeah, it was.
Made me feel old. It was just like so loud. I was like, can you turn down the music so I can hear them talk?
Yeah, but that's the thing is like,
Sorry, everyone.
The new reports just came out about an hour ago that said during the quarantine, the average American is spending 8 hours a day streaming some form of video, right? Which is a lot. But again, everybody's stuck inside, so it's not like you blame anybody either. So it's
Sure.
like, yeah, it makes sense, right? But with Hollywood being shut down like this and there's not enough content, you and I are just renting weird shit and doing whatever
Watching
at this
Benjamin
point.
Franklin Bones,
Yeah, B. Frank's Bones, all that other
Benjamin
shit.
Franklin's Bones.
I've been watching old sports, weird shit at night that I'm not proud of. I admit it. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
The biggest story last night for me was that Dr. Fauci,
The Fauci
dog,
Sorry.
who we like, that was loud, who we love. Look, Fauci's been rad. He's going to drop an interview tomorrow, and it's going to be on Snapchat, which I don't use, but he's going to do some. Snapchat's been doing original programming. He's going to have a 2-parter that's dropping, and one of the questions was, when can sports return? And I think that's what everybody wants. And he said, look, sports can come back like very fast. He thinks by May with empty stadiums. Now, I'm fine with that. As a viewer, as a fan of the teams, I would much, much rather be there, obviously, in person. But I'll take what I can get right now. And if sports can come back, that is at least some form of content that is live. I don't know the outcome of it. And for me, at least, and for a lot of men in America, will feel like some sense of return to a normalcy. Trump yesterday hired a big board. Big board, big people. A board to try to ease the economy back in here to a reopening. And on that board, a lot of the people were sports owners. Mark Cuban was one of them. So Mark Cuban, Adam Silver, who is the NBA commissioner, who is, in my personal opinion, the best commissioner in all 4 sports. Roger Goodell is in there from the NFL, obviously, Jerry Jones, and some other guys who were Robert Kraft from the Patriots, who were very, very bright minds. And I feel, especially with Cuban involved, because he was negative towards Trump and has been for years and almost ran against him in 2016. I don't know if you remember that. But it came down to the end, and he ended up didn't running. It was cool to see him say, yes, I will help. Now, obviously, he owns the Dallas Mavericks, so it's helping himself as well. But it was cool to see him getting involved, and a lot of these people get involved and say, all right, let's try to turn this back on and get some sense of normalcy back. I don't know what that's going to do for their bottom line financially if there's no fans there, because you're not getting all of those ticket sales, obviously. I know the league itself, all of the leagues, all of the majors have a deal signed with the networks as far as advertising dollars, so that will go to help the player salaries and all that other stuff. So, it's a step in the right direction. And it was very, very positive to hear him say that. And I think Dr. Fauci is one of those guys where, look, as much as I love Trump and I'm a Trump guy through and through, when it comes to a disease and, a virus, especially something as powerful as this, I would rather hear from the physicians themselves and the guys in charge, and he's the guy in charge, which is why he's been out there every single night, right?
Right, but then he needs to also listen to economists as well. So it's like those two need to work together to find the best situation and not just like, let's keep it closed for as long as we can so we don't have to like deal with this anymore, as opposed to let's try and get the people that need to get back to work and the people that need to stay home so that we can get them
the biggest issue,
more money.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because the biggest issue in all of this is one is going to be wrong. Trump said this the other night. Look, this is going to be the biggest decision I've ever had to make in my entire life. Not just presidency, life. Of when to tell people to go back to work. When they go back to work, I can assure you there's going to be people that are going to die from coronavirus. Somebody's going to catch it at the workplace. And then there is going to be a shitstorm of media like, oh, you open the economy too early. I don't think that number is going to be high enough that I hate to say you have to take a loss somewhere. It's either going to be in the economy or it's going to be in a body count. Mm-hmm. If he opens it too early, he's going to take all the heat for that. Now, Fauci, on the other end, is the same way. Like, if he says everybody come back and then people die, he's going to lose. So one is going to lose in this, the economy or the doctors. And unfortunately, I don't know that they can ever come or they will come to a decision on that. It's going to fall on one person. And then, it's going to take a lot of hindsight on this one. There's going to be a lot of media and press jumping down someone's throats one way or the other. But you're not going to know until the body count comes out a year later, truthfully, on this one. And it's going to be well after the election. I saw New York's numbers had beefed up by like 10,000 because there were some deaths where they were like, yeah, we can attribute this to the coronavirus.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not either.
And it's like, do that.
How do you know if that was a flu or something else? And,
So it sounded like last night he was saying that he's going to leave reopenings up to individual states.
Yes. And look, initially he said, I'm going to do it myself.
Right.
And I think probably some members, because I know the governor's bitch, right? Of like, I'm going to do whatever I want for my state.
Well,
it's all about voting, truthfully. And everybody's up for re-election in 2020, not just the president, but all these governors as well.
Sure.
And they don't want to make the wrong decision either for their constituents. Because
I don't know why they want to take it into their hands. But anyway. Because
if they're right, it is a guaranteed re-election. So if you do come out as you made the right call on this, same with Trump. If he makes the right call, people go back to work and the death count is very, very low. He made the right call, and that there's nothing that can stop his reelection other than Michelle Obama on that VP ticket, which she won't do anyways. That will be the biggest call of anybody's presidency besides ending a war, I guess. But even in a war, you can tell if you're winning. In this one, you can kind of tell if you're winning, but there might be some shit behind the scenes that you just can't stop, So it's a very, very hard call. Now, with the governors, it's the same way. And it's a state-by-state case. New York and California have way more than everybody else. So does Louisiana. And if you're the governors of New York, you're probably going to want to play it more on the safer side. Gavin Newsom came out, the governor of New York, California, yesterday. And he had like a 6-point plan to get people going back to work. Mm-hmm. It was very confusing. I read it, and I was just, simplify it, my man. 90% of Americans are dumb, including myself. Like, just simplify that for everybody. Maybe go a 2-point. Twosies is about the most that can, most ideas that can jangle around inside somebody's dome these days. Mm-hmm. The 6-point thing, I read it, and it was very confusing and jarring. It was like, oh, well, if you do this and this and this, I was just like, Jesus Christ. At what point is 4 when you put on the full biosuit and then just go sit in a cubicle for 8 hours a day?
6-point plan to get back to normal sooner.
I will too, but I don't know. Reading it, I don't know who's going to understand that for like California. You're going to have to just come out and say, hey, guys, here's a date, here's a couple simple rules, and let's get back at it and figure it out. But I think we're on the right path. And again, with Fauci saying sports can come back, all right, cool, because that's a lot of fucking people. To put on any of these events, any sporting event takes a lot of people, and it takes a lot of players, and in particular, you're playing together against each other. Mm-hmm. So, by then, you should have all the testing, and at least the athletes can take it or whatever because they're in direct contact with one another. So
it sounds like in California, they're talking about restaurants being like, the people serving you are going to be wearing gloves and masks, and you may have a disposable menu. But thinking about that happening soon.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, I would go.
Same.
I would
And
go
look,
in a hazmat suit to
Yeah.
like have a drink somewhere with people around me.
We were the first people back. As soon as bars and restaurants open,
We're
we'll be
going every
inside.
night.
It won't matter. Yeah. And same with sporting events. I will be the first person there. Like whatever I can go to, I will. There was a Brittany C over here on the live board because we're
What
live on
up,
YouTube
girl?
every single day. She put a good point up here. She said the Michigan governor is really grabbing that power. She
and,
definitely is. Because she's jockeying for that VP.
So she's like shutting stuff down and not reopening, or she is reopening?
Look, as much as I would love to bash her, she's very smart, and she's a great public speaker. And Michigan's going through shit, man. And a lot of residents are dying. She was on Today's Show or Good Morning America when we woke up this morning, and I was listening to her speak, and she was like, look, man, she was very calm and collected about it. She said, look, do I want my state shut down for longer than others? Yes, I do. However, there is a blizzard moving in right now, and the north half of the state is going to get 30 inches. People really aren't going out anyways, so it's probably not going to affect their lives, and I would just like to buy myself another couple weeks. I don't have a problem with that. But in the other states, like if it's relegated to 4 or 5 states that are the real hot spots that need to be shut down, great. Let's open up the other 46, and then that can make up for the economy for what's going on in those other 4 states. By the time they're ready to open and catch up, like, all right, great. Major League Baseball, that plan of playing everything in Arizona. Arizona is not one of the hot spots. I understand why they do that, and it could come back. Like that is a plan that could work if they're willing to do that or whatever. So, yeah, man, if you want to stay on these 4 or 5 states that are the real hot spots and then have those open up a few weeks later, what's that going to hurt at that point? You know, New York and California are it's tough because it's Hollywood, it's newspapers, it's publishers, it's all of your entertainment is coming out of those 2 states. So you might be lax in entertainment, but if you get sports back up and going, that might make up for some of it while those guys are slow goings coming back. The question is whether or not they're going to be able to come back at full strength. As of this morning, the LA Times, they're out. They were out of advertising, they say. And they've got to figure it the fuck out. I can't imagine that the New York Times isn't that much further behind them. The other one that I read was AMC. There is rumors that AMC will be out of money by June or July. So if they don't get these theaters open, 1, 2, and they don't pump out hits with the box office, they might file for bankruptcy.
They were close anyways. Like when I see our empty movie theater, I'm like, that's sad. They were already, like, I'm sure struggling, to be honest.
We have 2 movies in this, 3 theaters in this town? Small town. Just built a brand new, beautiful AMC. Crushed it. And they serve drinks. Serve fucking Trulies.
You got my vote.
I'm a little Truly girl.
You got my vote, and I commit 19 crimes.
Yeah, they got that too. And they got booze and beer and all that stuff, and IMAX and screens and everything you could possibly have at a brand new, gorgeous movie theater. And you're right. You and I, have gone on numerous dates. We'll have dinner first at usually 5:30 or 6. Roll into like a 7:15 movie. Because you and I have a lot of drinks before we go in, obviously.
Sure.
And
you gotta get juiced.
We've never had to wait in line for tickets, and we've never had one film sell out.
No.
And you and I will go on like opening night to these movies. So like we saw Joker in opening night.
I think the Joker was probably the most packed I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I was happy about that. But yeah.
So there is a rumor right now that is circulating that they will be out by June or July. And look, if they go down, if AMC goes down, that's 638 movie theaters around the nation. That is a lot. There is probably in existence somewhere in the 5,000 to 6,000 range of movie theaters. You're going to be nuking out 20% of that right there.
This is funny. Emily Holden said in Oregon, a bar was open in my hometown. I always think about that. Like, are there some like shady underground bars that are like kind of staying open with
there
like a
are.
Right?
Yes.
Like, can I find one of those maybe? Because I'll go.
It's not here.
There has to be one here. There has to be like something almost like the Fat Pelican or like Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
these
no,
like
so-
nondescript, like
In San Francisco, there was an underground club that's been open, and people have been fucking raging there.
I think they got in trouble though.
They did,
didn't
yeah. They just got shut down. So like,
somebody
is
went there
going
that's
on.
like a politician's like
yeah,
wife or something.
yeah. Because like, look, those Silicon Valley fuckers, as much as they preach about the fucking world and society, it's all bullshit. They're all going to these things. They're all having orgies. They're all having they all microdose. I mean, shit. One of our good friends, and we won't say who it is, but he is out there, lives there, and he's just like, hey man, this shit goes down. Like, fuck. The other night when he called, he was fucking microdosing, and I was like, man, are you tripping balls right now?
Who was?
Friend of ours.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Starts with a J. From here.
J
Married. You know his wife. You're friends with both of them.
J from here.
She has purple fucking hair.
I mean, calm down.
Come
dude.
on, Jessie.
Calm
We know
down.
two people. Yeah.
Wow, everybody knows who it is now.
No, they don't. They don't know them.
You named names
I
and
did
you
not.
dragged motherfuckers. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that he completely outed you.
No, but he hit me up the other night and was just like, hey man, I listened to your Post Malone show with the Post Malone thing, and was like, was that true? And I was like,
Oh yes,
he goes,
we have receipts.
we get the pictures of it. And I told the audience, because I said on Drinkin Bros and here, if you find me in public, I have one picture of the two of us playing, Post Malone and I playing buck naked beer
He'll
pong.
show it to you
I'll
whether
show
you
it to
want him to or not.
Just tap me on the show. I'll show it to you. But I just won't post it online out of respect. Somebody
Yeah.
else did. I found another video and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
What the fuck?
I know. It's bullshit. They take your phone for a reason so you can have fun and not have to worry about that shit.
Exactly.
Just tap me on the shoulder. It'll be a fun thing in public. So anyways, I showed him and he was like, fuck you, man. And the way he was talking, I was like, finally like 10, 15 minutes in the conversation, I was like, are you tripping right now? And he goes, gonna be honest. Yes, I am. I am tripping right now. And I was like, oh, great. And I was like, and he goes, yeah, we ordered, there's close to 5 pounds of Asian food just sitting in the kitchen right now too. And I was like, I'm gonna let you go and snack on those noodles, my man. But that shit goes on all the time out there. There is a different segment of Silicon Valley that is like, dude, they're microdosing to expand minds and come up with ideas and all that other bullshit. They're having orgies just because they can. Like, everybody there seems to have conformed to, we're living in a sim world, and they're fine with it. And it's just like, all right, cool. The only thing I'm not down with is the preachiness of like the rest of the world. Like, don't fucking preach at me about fucking vegan bullshit or everything else or saving the world. Like, you guys clearly don't give a fuck. Like, it is literally just about you guys doing drugs and fucking each other,
Right.
and making a ton of money. And that's
Right.
like, I'm all for that. It's the preachiness about everything else that I fucking care about.
Right.
But yeah, they got shut down, that club, and they were going strong for like the full month. Like, this was going on for a month, this underground club.
Dang.
Yeah.
Someone's saying
they
there's
were giving
one
out
in their
tests.
hood too. Like,
Yeah.
where is the one that's here?
I know. And they were giving out tests, by the way, at that club. So, like, if you're super rich, you were getting tests. Joe Rogan got a test on there the other day.
I know, I saw that. Well, he tested Callan, I think.
Yeah. Was it his birthday?
And then kissed him. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get the test and all that shit if you're super rich. There's another luxury hotel on one of those Caribbean islands where they just ordered 500 tests, and everybody was like, wait a minute.
Hang on.
What's this going for? And it's just for rich people to go and party to. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So that exists, and it's going on. Wish it was here. Wish there was an underground bar
Just
here.
one.
I will say this, though. There's a fucking food joint up the street. Nippy's, Jamie. Your place. Nippy's Soul Food? Yeah. It was like 6 or 7 people hanging outside, and then I saw a couple people inside. There was a cop parked right out there sitting in the car. We're just watching them of like, don't congregate, don't go inside and enjoy a meal, for Christ's sakes. Like,
They do the same thing at the place that you like.
which one?
Trucks.
Oh, Trucks. Is that the fried chicken joint? Yeah. It's like, hey, man, you know. So in this town, they're still patrolling, and you said, Alec, you've seen some cops out. So it was Rachel, and so they're still patrolling and doing that bullshit. I don't know where that is. If I had a guess, though, I think I know the place it would be. But the cops come there, man. They just fucking busted them for, they sent in some underage person and busted them for underage drinking. Do they do that at your bars? when you were working back in the day?
They never did, but we were trained extensively to deal with it in case they did. But in any place that I worked, it never actually happened. But they would like.
It did on my shift.
Yeah.
And I was the one who let these fucking people in. It was a dude in like, late 40s, early 50s, and this girl who looked like she was fucking 36 years old.
Right.
And the place that I worked at opened at 5. I was a bouncer for this bar. And truthfully, we were just setting up at 5 for like an hour, 2 hours. Like nobody's coming to
you're
a
not
bar
like
downtown until 7.
Open
So
at 5, yeah.
Yeah, and so they get off of work, but at least by this time everything's all set up, right? Just got in. It's 5:01, and they were like, "Hey, man, I'm just getting off work. Can we get a beer?" And I was like, "Yeah. I mean, technically we're open. Yeah, go ahead." And I looked at both of them. Didn't ask for IDs. Homegirl looked like she was 36, anyways. She was with this old dude, and I was like, "Eh." Sure enough, fucking, they had the bartender, this female, kind of looked like you, and she fucking bent over the bar, handcuffs, the whole thing. Got the manager. Dragged her out of there. We get fined like $10,000 or whatever it was, and then
because of your ass.
yes. And so,
Dang,
luckily,
did you keep your job?
Barely. My manager was just like, "Hey, man," and I love that job. Like I was a fucking bouncer at like the biggest bar at Ohio State.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and I made
So
a shit
you're
ton
like,
of money. It was
hey,
great.
I'll never not check IDs.
Yes,
ever
and I was
again.
very apologetic, and it wasn't like I was getting fired from Papa John's or something. Like I love that job.
Actually like the job.
And I like the people that I worked with. And it was one of those jobs that was so good that you stayed there for 4 years of college and you passed it down to someone else because it was such a great job that you were like, "Hey, man, don't fuck this up." So I even offered. I was like, "I'll pay the $10K." And she was like, "Dude, you're in college. You don't have that kind of money." And I was like, "You can take it out of my salary. I just don't want to lose this job because I like it." And
it's a different Ross, huh? It's a different
no,
Ross.
if I've always been
10
whatever.
grand, though?
Here's the thing: if you're working at a job that you love, you never work a day in your life. No, I'm kidding. But
live, laugh,
yeah, love.
and love.
And no, but if you're working at a job that you like going to and you like the people, it really is hard to find to do something like that every day. In particular, in college. I mean, Christ, I was a referee at a goddamn skating rink at United Skates of America. You know, like. I know what shitty jobs were. I worked at Olive Garden. I work at fucking Papa John's. I knew what shitty jobs were, and this wasn't one of them. And I was like, man, this is something that I could do for 4 years. So, yeah, every single person after that, even though we never got busted again, I had to check their fucking IDs. And it was just cops being dicks, like, at that point. For what,
Yeah.
I guess the money's worth it for the city. Whatever, man. But
right.
And it turned out Homegirl was 20 in real life. And I was
sad.
just like, come on.
She's going to need 10 grand
I got popped for underage drinking.
for underage drinking
Yeah.
yourself.
So I went to a gas station. I was on a fucking date. It was 1 month away from turning 21. And I was on a date, and I went in to grab a bottle of wine from this gas station because I'm classy.
Leave that door open, Jamie.
Not that it'll work. By the way, if you see a screen go out here and there, it's hot in the building here. It's hot in the building.
At the very least. Yeah.
So I went in, got a classy bottle of wine from a gas station, and I had a fake ID. The guy, I'd shown it a million times at this place. So the guy didn't ask for it, and went in, bought the wine. I got pinned up against the wall. They tackled the guy, this Indian guy, for no fucking reason. I mean, it was so dumb. And the guy, had walked in like just over the top undercover cop. He had a hat on with it looked like it was brand new and bought at like a fucking tourist shop. It said FUBAR on it. Fucked up beyond all recognition.
Sure.
Shirt on that said female body inspector. He had a flannel on over it. It looked like he was an extra in a Pearl Jam video, like one of the roadies in the back where you were like, oh, cool. Eddie Vedder's climbing up the speakers, and then you see the roadie in the back, and you're like, that's what the guy was going for. Sure. He had the black Doc Martens on and the whole thing, and it was like, in what world do you look like you could be on a college campus? And so what happened was it was a small store, and they put me in the back of this place, and I'm cuffed. The other guy's cuffed, and they're like, why did you serve him liquor, and blah 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 blah. In the meantime, because the guy was like, well, I've seen his ID, and they were asking me for ID, and I was like, I didn't have it, but I had overheard their conversation when I was in the back because the place was so small, and the guy had said, the cop tried to cut a deal with me, and he comes back and he goes, look, we're going to give you a court date. If you come in and testify, say that, he checked your ID and all this stuff, we're going to let you off, and you can have like $100 fine or whatever it was. And I was like, yeah, cool. And he goes, all right, awesome, man. So I got the court citation and all that other bullshit. And I went back 2 days later, and the owner was in there, and this guy was gone. I apologized to the owner. I said, hey, man, I'm 1 month away from my birthday. What's the sitch? What do I need to get your guy out of this and get you guys out of this? Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, the cameras weren't running that day, so they don't have any footage. So it's going to be your word against the cops at this point. Mm-hmm. And if our guy's been selling you booze for, a year and a half, like, it'd be great if you were cool. And I was like, all right, awesome. If they have no footage of it, then fuck it. So I went in and testified, got up on the stand, and they were like, did you show them ID? And I was like, honestly, I can't remember. If you guys could just pull up the footage, that would be great. Because I don't know. And I was like, hey, look, finals. I was in finals. I was super stressed. I didn't know what's going on. I'm buying barefoot wine, obviously, for my stress. And I was trying to get laid on a date. And I was just like,
sure.
Like, I'm super stressed. I was like, it would just be really helpful if you could open up the footage. And I made eye contact with the undercover officer, the FUBAR guy in the front row. And he was just like, his eyes welled up, and after I got off the stand, I was like, was all of that worth it for like $100 I get fined, and I think the store got fined something or whatever. I went back and told the owner, and the owner was like, hey, man, it's pretty fucking cool. And I was like,
way cool. You should have gotten free barefoot for life.
Same, dude. And I was like, I'll
did not need to do any of that.
I'll bro down,
Jeez.
It was a gas station right behind my house, too. So it was just like, it was walking distance.
Right.
And whenever you're fucking hardcore boozing, you want something within walking distance in college. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not so much down with that. So the place that I'm thinking of that would have been open here, they just got popped for that exact same thing that I just said.
Okay.
So one would imagine.
They probably aren't.
No, and that sucks.
Dang, I just
it's the K&E. It's next to it's Greek. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the place I think would be open right now.
For sure.
I went in there one night, and there were like people were smoking inside.
Oh, yeah.
Cigs inside. And I was just like, yo, those guys
They have gambling in there.
Oh, we used to have gambling in high school.
You know what may be open is Bud and Joe's.
What's that?
Do you remember that place I worked in Curie
knows
Beach?
what it is. Oh, yeah. I know what you're
know?
talking about. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying something.
Oh, sounds good, right? Just anything sounds good right now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Remember where it was there were gambling in the back,
Sweet dive
where they
bar.
made places like that basically stay open from those machines.
Yeah.
So any place like that that's just like, man, the beer is $1. Like, how are they keeping the doors open? Is they have 1 to 2 machines in the back that people gamble on, and it basically keeps them afloat. That's how the keg and egg works too. Sorry, keg and.
Yeah. I'm
It's
trying to
not
use code
open.
names and initials and like, hey. No, it's not open, but
It's not open during the quarantine,
I
just
think
you guys know.
Everybody heard
and
it. Somebody said, Jamie, buy a goddamn fan. It's not the fan. I will say this. So our cameras we've been going hard every single day live. These cameras are not, we're finding out now, are not built to go live all day long like this. If you're subscribed to our YouTube channel on Drinkin Bros podcast, you'll probably see that we're putting out 3 shows a day.
Yeah.
On all the like a night. We've become a television network essentially. These cameras were not built for that. We have some on the way that are coming in next week. Those are so because we're going to keep going live every single day. So this one is not Jamie. Now you can blame Jamie for a lot of shit, and God knows I do every fucking day.
But not this.
Not this one. I can't. I can't go in. No, there's one. The guy's name is Cod something. He just blamed you. So, yeah. Reed White just backed you up. So Jamie, you're a rock star. So. There you go.
Reed.
Classic Reed. But yeah, if we could go find a bar where, because gambling, some illegal activity has to be going on in order for them to stay open. In high school, ours was a Philly cheesesteak place where you could go late nights and booze, and the guy would make Philly cheesesteaks, and it was one of my best friends who worked there, but you had to gamble. So people were shooting dice in a fucking pizza box. And that was kind of the jam. Same in Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown, Ohio, there's plenty of those fucking speakeasies, which I call it a speakeasy. That's a classy name for. It was someone's house that they fucking gutted and put a grill down where the living room should be, and then upstairs you would gamble, and there was a fucking peephole, right?
Oh my God, I love that.
Tons of those places, but you had to gamble.
There's a couple in LA that we would go to.
And it would always be the same. You were shooting dice on a fucking pizza box. I'm terrible at shooting dice, so I never participated in that. But now sports betting, sure. But a lot of places were just like, hey, I would clean them out of house and home, and then they would never.
Yeah.
I was cut off really quickly at all those places where it was just like, oh, hey, what game is on? Great, I'll take so and so. And they were like, motherfucker, you're all done here. Like, but the dice was always a big thing. Was that what they were doing at that other bar?
What?
Were they shooting dice, or was it slots in the back?
No, it was full on poker upstairs.
Oh shit! All right. Yeah. Damn, dude. Damn. All right.
Yes.
I understand that.
I definitely won't say the name of that.
No,
but
don't say that one.
They moved a couple times in my time in LA when we would work at a bar and get off at 2 or 3 and want to go somewhere and hang out. So first it was in a strip mall and it was karaoke. And then they finally, the last iteration of what they had to do was in a house in Silver Lake.
Yeah. So
with a peephole.
I did you said they made a movie out of it. I didn't see it, but I did the Hollywood one where there was poker at people's houses, and that chick was running it.
That was a way more classier situation. That was.
It was, yeah, because it was all
something.
It was all like
Chastain was in it, but anyway, Jane's Game
all like,
or whatever.
Yeah, it was all like fucking very famous celebrities.
So that was very famous. Ours was like low life.
Oh, gotcha.
Armenian.
I will say this.
You know that race that you kind of don't know where they get their money?
Yeah,
but they always have gold on?
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, like a light brown.
Yeah.
Like a DJ Khaled looking
like
guy.
Like a beard, yeah.
Yeah, where you're like, hey, are you black or are you Middle Eastern?
Are you Mexican? Are you Middle Eastern?
Are
you Italian? Are you like a dark Italian?
ISIS? Are you an ISIS member?
I don't know.
You don't know, yeah.
But they have nice jewelry and they have cash. So
oh, okay.
Whatever that one is.
So the thing in Hollywood, it was the poker thing. It was like a $10,000 buy-in. So like, I never.
No.
Me personally,
like
I never physically played, but claimed it, and so did my other buddy Kane. So I would go with them and then watch them, and I'm like, whew. Every hand was just. The problem is you're playing against like DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire was always there. Those guys have endless money. It's like Spider-Man money, where you're just like, dude. They don't give a shit about losing this, so they'll just keep buying back in all night long. Eventually, they're going to take your money because you can't win the entire night, right?
Yeah, I definitely didn't do that kind of stuff.
I didn't either. I watched and got drunk, but they took it very seriously.
Even go,
and
didn't even get invited. But
well, Javes, you know,
I was in the crack house in Silver Lake, but samesies.
Hey, there was one place though. No, there was one place that was universal. That was in an office building. Do you remember that? It was a late night club where you had to go to like the 17th floor on like Vine in Hollywood. And it was like an old fucking building that's like homeless people took up like the first 3 floors. And they always had drugs. There was another one on.
Did you go to like the taco stand one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you went to that one, right? Where it was just like...
But it opens up into like a huge warehouse. Yeah. Amazing club. Like like dusk till dawn kind of
but it's
stuff.
The filthiest people of all time. And you're like...
Sure, but like at one time that couch was nice. It's not now, but it was, you know?
A lot of cum stains on that.
Yeah. The sheen is off of it. But one time those chandeliers and those velvet couches were gorge. But now, not so much, you know? But that's what I love. I love going to a place where the sheen's off, you know, and they've turned it into something real low life.
You walk out of there at 6 or 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You feel awful about your life. I did that about twice, and I was just like, we're good on this. Like, I
don't know. I would say that too. And then 2 days later, I would do it again. But yeah, like I would definitely be like, never again, guys. This is ridiculous. So I'm getting off at 2:30. Where's
Jessie was a dirtbag.
Dirtbag. Jessie was a dirtbag.
People don't know you. People don't know Jessie the dirtbag. They only know like Jessie the hot like fucking podcast host. They don't know your dirtbag days.
Yeah, they don't know my rap sheet.
No.
The judge actually called it a rap sheet.
Yeah. They don't know any.
I was really excited about that.
They don't know that side of you.
CSI.
You used to call me at right around 2:45 a.m. because you'd be walking to get cigarettes from a gas station
Yep.
on the wrong side of town. You were like, hey, man, just stay on the phone with me because I don't want to get beaten and or raped. And I was like, cool, what are you getting?
Yeah.
A pack of cigarettes.
Had to.
Yeah. So they don't know the dirtbag, Jesse.
They don't.
They only know the classed up broad you are now, you know? You know?
Sure.
They
Yep.
don't know the dirtbag who was eating bologna sandwiches outside smoking cigarettes till 4 in the morning, you know?
Loving it. And barefoot I thought was good. Those were like before I understood wine, but like barefoot, playing my super nice keyboard, smoking, till 4 in the morning.
They don't know the
They
dirtbag,
don't
Jessie.
know. Smoking inside a studio apartment.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, those were the days for
Oh my God, I
Jables.
miss them sometimes.
For Jables. What she didn't have, though, back in those days was a ghost bed from ghostbed.com
Absolutely
/Drinkin Bros.
not. I never had the finer things.
No, you had a terrible mattress there. I think it was
Horrible.
horrible. Ghostbed.com /Drinkin Bros, though, has the nicest mattresses on the planet. Rich sent us an email yesterday from Ghostbed.
Oh,
He
yes,
said
I'm
he's going to send us something. I don't know
Kind
what
of
it is.
excited. Maybe he's happy with our work.
If it's a fucking t-shirt, Rich, I'm going to be pissed off.
Rich knows.
Now, if it's a king-size adjustable base, Rich, I'm going to be amped about it.
It depends. It depends on what our Q2s were. You know what I mean? Like
Strong,
he's either very happy with Q2,
or it's a parting gift.
right? Or it's a like, wear this hat. It's not going well. Yeah. I don't think that's true because everyone in here is like, love my ghost bed. They have their own like ghost bed things. I'm pretty sure everyone in this board at least has one. Richard has the Lux.
We literally have it in every single fucking room, and
Every
pillows and
human
even our
sleeps
kids
on a.
have one. Like,
Yeah.
for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't that
the best.
crazy? They don't know what they have.
No, they don't. They don't know. But I will say this: they're affordable shit. I mean, it's I went into I don't know. Where did we try to get those bunk beds rooms to go? Like we went into like a rooms to go to get like a bunk bed for a kid. Not only were they way overpriced, but the mattresses sucked, and they were the same price as Ghost Bed. And I was like, motherfucker, if people only knew, with 25% off, you can just get those. It's better than walking into one of these dipshit places.
Right.
And as always, the 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest is applicable with the 25% off. Dills. Next up, we got expressvpn.com /revolution. We need it. Look, I've been attempted to have been hacked 3 times now in the last 2 weeks. Everybody's home. People are trying to hack into bank accounts, all that other shit. Like, dude, I've had to reset passwords and everything. Luckily, ExpressVPN caught it and was like, hey, man, they shut the shit down. I've not been hacked yet, so knock on wood. I'm amped. But I've had this app for, I don't know, 2 years now at this point, I think. They've been on the show for a while.
And if
$7 a month, it runs seamlessly in the background of all your computers and devices, iPhones, iPads, laptops, and all of that shit. $7 a month. And it also beats all the firewalls at work. So when you do go back to work, you can watch porn on your lunch break or Canadian Netflix. If you
what are the deals they're giving you? Is it 3 months free?
Yeah, so you get 3 months free if you order a year.
What do you have to put in?
$7 a month.
No, Revolution? Or
Yeah, no, it's expressvpn.com /revolution.
/revolution, and you get 3 months of that shit free?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like fucking 60
I don't want to get
year.
hacked, but for me, it's more important because I'm at the end of my queue to start to unlock other countries.
Yeah. Which you can.
Sorry.
Hidden trick. I don't really care, but that's what you get. It's at expressvpn.com /revolution.
They like tell you how to do it too, so go to the site.
It's great. Go to the site. Go there, and they'll tell you how to fucking do all this shit. It's great. Next up, it's not illegal either. We got strikeforceenergy.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Shabloinkers. Oh,
whoopsie.
Oh, wow.
Putting a couple squirts in as we speak.
Wow.
You're welcome, James. You're welcome.
Thankfully, we're.
I'm stronger than a baby. You can be stronger than a baby at strikeforceenergy.com. Promo code revolution.
Stronger than a baby.
20% off. Babies are strong. Maybe it's just ours. That little fucker's strong, isn't he? Isn't he?
He really is.
Yeah.
I had his guns out. I had his guns out yesterday.
You hit him in a tank top.
They're actual muscles,
I know.
man.
That kid's gonna be a beast.
He's thick.
Yeah. Yeah, he's thick.
He's a thick boy.
Thick boy.
He is.
I
What?
don't know what voice that is, but I love
Me
it.
neither, but he's a thick boy.
Strike Force Energy's got 4 amazing flavors, no carbs, no sugars, and it lasts longer than 6-hour energy drinks. So, look, it's a tasty, tiny little tin pouch. Rip it open and squeeze it into any liquid available. It keeps you going. I've been using this shit for 4 years now at this point. I have a subscription, and yes, you can get a subscription, and it's cheap as fuck. Just use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off there.
I think the pouch is
Amazing.
recommended by the Fauci as well.
Yeah, pouches by the Fauches, dude.
The Fauci is telling you to drink that pouch.
Yeah, he is. Last but not least, we got straightrazors.com.
Ooh, that's a clean cut.
Careful at home, kids. There it is.
Oh, you right?
Yikes. Yikes.
Gosh, we've got to be done with that soon, huh?
You put a little extra Wuhan on the back of that
I really did. We've got to be done with that soon,
one.
right?
Man, maybe not, Jabes. You know,
I don't know. It's really got. I mean,
the
it can't be fun
the
for
fucking
anyone.
look the goddamn.
What if you're listening in headphones?
What's that?
What if you're listening to this show
Yeah, you're
with
getting blown,
headphones?
you're getting blown the fuck out. Is what you're doing.
Ah.
By the way, there's a male in here who this is one of the best comments of all time. I'm going to say it real quick before we get to the last sponsor.
Sure,
Troy
go.
Potter.
Troy's
new. I haven't seen his name, but he says
He's been in a little bit, yeah.
okay. He says, Jamie, can we just leave the camera on Jables and only do Ross's audio? I get it. She's hot. She's fucking hot. I tell you every day how hot you are.
You really do.
It's dead serious. I've not
You're
grown
sweet.
tired of how hot you are. You got hotter though as you got older too, which is rare. Where you're just like Jesus Christ. So every morning I'm ready to go, and I understand it. So if you need to put the camera on just Jables like we did the other day, I'm here for it. I understand it too. I'll be behind camera with 2 hands on my
Whoa.
ding dong. Well, it takes 2. It takes 2 to build a mountain. You know.
To build a basket.
To build a basket. That's the old saying. That's on Pinterest. StraightRazors.com has everything you need to be a real man in this life. Shave up. Do whatever you want. Every shaving product and device you could ever need. Shampoos, beard oils, mustache waxes, conditioners, all that shit. They got it. StraightRazors.com. Promo code REVOLUTION, 20% off. Look, everybody's got to order in because all the fucking shaving products are sold out.
I know.
From stores still.
I know.
It's
Don't
weird.
even go.
It's weird, right?
Don't even go. I have to go after work, and I'm not excited about it.
To where? Where are you going after work?
I have to get some formula
For a loser baby
for our loser baby.
who doesn't contribute. Get Essential, baby. You know? He's not going back to a job, is he? Going back to being a baby, just eating stuff still.
Just eating stuff, running around, crying.
Surviving. Just being a baby trying to survive.
Just being a little thick boy.
Little thick boy. I want to talk about this. The top story here, besides the Fauci thing, was the World Health Organization, or WHO, as they've called it, numerous times. It's just
No.
like, yeah.
They did.
WHO. They always call it WHO.
Oof.
That's what it is. Here's the thing. So Trump says he's going to defund it, and he's going to halt the U.S. funding of WHO. And people are enraged. It's going to cost somebody lives, all this other shit or whatever. First of all, America's not your goddamn bank account. 1. 2, this organization is from China. If China didn't give a fuck to tell us about the virus till fucking 3 months later when it was too late and then everybody died around the world, certainly don't give a shit about funding this bullshit organization. We have our own people. Give Fauci his own thing. You know?
Yeah.
It's better than WHO. Fauci just sounds like right in your fucking face, dude.
Whew.
It sounds like if you shove somebody on a basketball court in Harlem and you just looked at them in the eyes and you said, Fauci, dude.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah,
harder than who. So I'm fine with this. I don't know why this has been trending forever and people are bitching about it. It reminds me of that Paris climate treaty thing where it's just like, hey man, again, pulling out of funding for that. You can't police the world as far as their emissions go, especially China and India and all that shit. So why are we giving money to that? Same with this, man. I don't really give a fuck. Like, we have our own task force here. We have our own people. They're not going to give us the heads up on when diseases and viruses and all that shit. What are we funding them for? To say what? They're controlled by China, so whatever they're going to say is is going to be Chinese influence. So it's going to benefit China, not us. Now, if you want to put who in our country and then have them go out to the rest of the world, fine. If not, fuck them, defund them. I don't give a shit. I'm all about just helping Americans at this point. All these other countries can get bent, losers.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, figure it the fuck out.
Right.
France is figuring it out. Spain's figuring it out. Italy, all these other countries. Shit, even Africa, for Christ's sakes. Notice that you don't hear any deaths in Africa? Have you heard anything about Africa of like, oh, man, all these people are dying from coronavirus?
No, not coronavirus.
You know why?
Why?
Because it's the same pill for malaria that Trump has been touting. Those motherfuckers have been on it for years, so they're just like, bro, we have enough diseases over here. This one's not strong enough for us. We've already got. We've been taking these pills for years, Holmes.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys are new to it, America. But yeah, man, that's what it is. Everybody's been figuring it the fuck out. So why do we need some organization that's Chinese funded to do that type of shit for us? No thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm all done with China. I've had enough. I enjoy your food. I love it. But I'm all done with it. You know?
What?
Chinese food.
Chinese food?
Yeah. Love the food. Like, don't throw that out, you know?
I could just keep it with Thai.
Oh.
And then
That's a
get
bold
rid
choice.
of
That's a
the
spicy choice is what that is.
and get rid of the China.
Yeah. And just go Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? I'm down with it.
I mean, if you're like trying to
Hey, man, you throw a good
or even
pad Thai in front of me,
sure.
I will get loose.
Even a Japan, I could like keep with their
Where are those dumplings from?
what?
What country are the dumplings from?
I mean, there's different versions everywhere, but
Whatever the one in Thailand
gyoza,
is.
that would be Japan, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Japan's in charge of the sweet dumplings. Fucking A.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it. Japan was also the first country to pull out. Like they put a full on press release. God damn it! That Strike Force hit me hard. It hit me really hard. That's not the best advertising for Strike Force, right there.
A pressel release.
They put out a press release saying, "Hey, we're going to pull our companies out of China. Let's just do it in Japan."
Japan
rocks the shit.
Yeah. They're
Rocks
also
the shit.
not quarantining, which is good.
Is that true?
Yeah. So do you remember my friend, hot makeup artist friend? She was like one of the only friends that you were like, oh yeah, she's hot. Jessica.
Oh yeah.
So she moved.
But she was hot in a. She listened to the show.
I don't think so, but she
Hot in a trashy way.
Yeah, but I think she would agree with that.
Oh,
like,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
She's funny. Like,
Yeah.
you know, tatted up.
Yeah.
Like,
Best hookup story I've ever heard out of a human ever was her story.
when she got mad at the person or hooked up.
And the guy threw the bed out the window?
She threw the bed out the
she
window.
did?
Yeah. And it landed in between both of the apartment buildings, and so he couldn't. And there was like a fence and all these like things, so he could never
Get the mattress back.
Get it. But she was just that like hot and crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck you, motherfucker! I'm throwing your bed out the window.
Dan's girlfriend. Like, that is exactly what a girlfriend of Dan's would do.
I wish. She's actually with like the best guy of all time for her. And,
Oh, great.
And in general, he like designs shoes for Adidas. Anyways,
That's awesome.
they moved to Japan. As
Shut
you
the fuck
do.
up.
Yes, because his job took him there for however long they're going to be there. They've got
Yeah.
this great fucking apartment. But anyway, she's like, dude, nobody's like, I mean, everyone's just biz as used.
It's great.
She's freaking out because she's like, fuck, she's there with like her mom who's older and like has health issues. And so she's like a little bit pissed about it. But
Yeah.
they're like not doing anything out there. Still hanging out, still gathering, still.
They got to Anne Frank, that mom, hide her away in the back so she doesn't get
Which
anything.
they
But,
do, and
Yeah.
they're wearing masks and stuff, but
Man, so they haven't stopped over there, huh?
not really.
Good on them, man. Man, that's rad. Look, because that's got to start. That conversation's got to start happening. I know it's unpopular and people are coming after Trump, but he's like, "Fuck you guys, dude. No more money for you." Who?
Sure. Yeah.
Cindy Lou. Who?
Yeah.
We're all done. We're all done with your bullshit.
Yeah.
And then the other thing he did is these checks that are going out. If you don't have a direct deposit for your taxes, like everybody's wondering when the $1,200 stimulus checks are coming. A lot of them are coming in this week, is what they've been saying. My stepsister, I think, already got hers. And It'll be direct deposit. However, if you don't do direct deposit for your taxes, it'll be coming in the form of a check. And Donald Trump demanded that his name was on it. So that way you knew the money was coming from Trump. Nice. Smart. That is a baller move for the election coming up. Just know that Donald Trump gave you this money. Yeah.
What a DB.
And we boycotted this. And we did an episode this week that we were over the Tiger King. We were all done with that. We boycotted the TMZ thing. So a lot of you guys have been asking of like, hey, what'd you think of the TMZ thing? We didn't watch it. You're too late to it.
They're too aware.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we don't like when people like that are too aware of what it is that made them famous. Therefore, they turn it into something cheesy and fake.
And it's not their fault. I mean, shit.
No, my God. If you had nothing like that,
girl
and you
gets
literally
her arm bit off by a tiger working for
sure.
$1.38 an hour, and it's like, all right, cool. You want to get famous and cash in? By all means.
By all means.
Do it. Yesterday we talked about Barack Obama.
We did, yeah.
Nominating Bernie Sanders, or fucking not Bernie Sanders, Biden.
Biden.
Standing behind Biden. Today, Cardi B on Instagram, you can call people and hook up with them and like have a conversation. Cardi B did one with Bernie Sanders today, which is crazy. We've reached the end now if we're listening to Cardi B on politics. And when I read this and I saw this, because I was not watching the video, both of them, she teed off on Trump and was typical Cardi B, and Bernie Sanders was laughing his ass off. Made him seem a little more human, actually. But they're trying to get out the word and vote and support Biden and all this other bullshit. And I was like, why would he do this with Cardi B? Like, of all people. Do you know that she has 68 million Instagram followers?
Yeah. I mean, I figured.
That hurts my mind.
That's where she started, though. So she started as an Instagram performer and
I thought she was on like a VH1 show or something like that.
She was, but she spun it into an internet following.
I don't have my phone on me. Do you, Alec? Look up Cardi B. What her numbers are on Instagram. Last time I checked,
she had been working that way before Bodak came out.
Oh, 62.6 million followers on Instagram. Jesus Christ. That coronavirus video she did where she's screaming, coronavirus, has 30 million views. That is as much as the AFC Championship gets for the fucking NFL, for Christ's sakes.
It's funny.
That is why, if you were wondering, the same way I was this morning, of why she's on with Bernie fucking Sanders.
It's because Bernie has a crew of young people around him that's has done his campaign, his socials, his fucking everything, which is why his lives are on point, his fucking anything that he does.
And I learned that from you because I don't follow him or track his social media whatsoever. And you were the one who told me that. And when I saw this Cardi B thing pop up, I was like, dude, I can't even imagine how many millions of people. You can't go on any network at all and get this many eyeballs. Like, you can't go on the Today Show.
He's just running like a completely different campaign with younger people, whereas Biden has these old tried and true people that are like, text Biden to 54792, and it's like everybody, every young voter or any person has just shut down after text Biden 4.
Yeah.
So he definitely got everything he got in his grassroots campaign. He got from the demographic that he targeted and the people that worked for him.
Right.
Which is like something people can learn from in the future. His policies we don't like him, all of this I get. But the campaign that he ran, he could teach people a lot.
So
if they would listen.
To your point, they just put the kids who were running Bernie Sanders' social media, which it is really on point. I'm gonna say this guy's name, Chris Witchy is his name, and he's at Film the Burn. So he's clearly in charge of the content team there. He took a picture of Bernie Sanders talking to Cardi B, and he says, "One day I'll tell my grandchildren about the time I gaff taped Bernie Sanders' iPad to a cushion so he could talk with his hands while live streaming with Cardi B.
Right?
And there's a picture of it, and
great.
it really is gaff tape to a cushion on a fucking
That's
fold
great.
out thing. Bravo, Chris.
Bravo, but like
film the
that
burn.
kind of content you would never get
No.
from Biden.
And people don't understand this is more valuable than going on Jimmy Kimmel. Like you will bring so many more eyeballs to that. The biggest
Or
problem
old
with this
school campaigning. He can
Yeah.
reach more people this way than like getting in your bus and going out to a stump.
Yep.
And like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing that shit, like that's done. Like we're not going out. So Biden should be talking to Bernie in these quarantines about how to really get out there.
Well, the only two people who were doing it during all of this, who were drawing actual rally crowds where it's worth it, are Trump and Bernie. Bernie's out. Nobody's going to come out for Biden.
I'm just saying, like,
and the other biggest problem with this is because Obama does this as well. He was one of the first people to, president-wise, to dip into social media like this. And then that's...
and
Trump took it.
Get your info from Facebook. He was
Exactly.
one of the first
Yeah.
to do it.
Trump took it to the max level and just said, cool, I'll do this every goddamn second of the day. Is Biden will not do this. Biden's not going to get on with Cardi B. He's too old, and
But it's not his. By the way, it's not his brand either. Like he has to find a way to stay on brand and still have good quality production that he can go live with easy shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, but the problem is with his dementia and what's going on right now, you can't.
He has to have
All
a
these
team.
live
he
moments.
has to have a team.
He does, but you're still live, and it's going to be captured somewhere. So if you fuck it up, that clip is going to go viral, and you're screwed. This feels a lot to me like the 2016 election where Hillary had epilepsy and she started canceling these events and was putting Bill up there and Barack to go out to these events for her and do these rallies and shit.
Yeah.
If this is your strategy already to get Bernie to do this shit and Barack, because Barack put up a video yesterday, and Michelle, it's a recipe for disaster. It's not going to happen. It's still about the actual candidates themselves, not how many cool people you're friends with. I mean, shit, you remember the last night of the election in 2016? That night, there was, 30 live concerts going around in like 30 different states. It was like Gaga. Springsteen did North Carolina, right? Yeah, at like midnight. Remember, all these were like midnight concerts. Jay-Z did Ohio, and he did it. I think he did it at Columbus at Ohio State.
Shit, I remember that. And I was
Yeah.
like, even with all of that.
They lost
They lost.
because it was still about the candidate, and that's the issue. When I saw this today, I was like,
Guess
man,
that's true. Like, don't do.
Bernie's going out to the young voters, but if that's the case, you should have put Bernie in there as your nomination. Like, it kind of snowed, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I think you're going to see more and more of them go out, but I don't know what they can do with Biden in this whole sitch. It's strange. It's very strange, and it's going to get even stranger. I can't wait to see who that VP is. This is breaking news. Elizabeth Warren has just gone all in for Biden as well. So she just threw her support behind Biden. This will cement my theory that she will be the nomination. It's me personally, but
She should do. I mean, I know you guys hate her. I know everyone on the boards hates her.
that's not. Look,
I
it's
gotta
not that.
I gotta respect. But I mean,
I think she's the only person that can bridge these Bernie supporters. So look, if Bernie's doing Cardi B shit, Elizabeth Warren does that shit too.
yeah.
She was on there drinking
And this
a beer.
is all, conjecture because they're not winning anyways.
No,
but
not gonna win. You
I
see
want a fun debate. I want a
Yeah.
fun campaign. Like I don't want it to be like a shoo-in. Like we know exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I want to see Warren. Who would she debate? Anyone? You don't.
Yes, you do. So
But
the VP debates the other VP.
Would she debate Pence?
Yes. So that happens.
Please, she would kill him.
If he didn't do that bad in the last ones. I will say he's a smart.
Yeah, but
he's a
she
smart
wasn't
guy.
he wasn't up against Warren. I'm sorry,
Who
but
was he
she
up
fucking
against?
kills in debates.
Who? He was up against Tim Kaine. I always forget who ran with Hillary. It was Tim Kaine. He was up against Tim Kaine. Yeah, he beat Tim Kaine. She's a very good debater. It would
she
be
kills.
tough. Yeah,
She doesn't do much else right. But
she's good. It would be a fun one to watch.
She can fucking annihilate an old white guy, no problem.
Yeah. So if but check out Bloomberg if you don't believe that. But
his carcass that she left on the fucking debate stage.
Crushed him that night. It ended his fucking campaign. It's one of those things where I think the presidents do 3, so it'll be Trump against Biden for, I believe, 3 debates, and then I think the VPs do 1 or 2.
Biden can't.
And the VP one is different. The format is different. Like you're sitting at a table like this, so you're right next to the person, and then I think the moderator is right in the middle. So they're just asking questions back and forth. Yeah, if I remember the last one correctly, and I think CNN did it. So yeah, they would let them tee off whatever that is. So. We'll see what happens, but it's fun. Once all this shit gets back going. Thank you, Fauci, for saying that sports can come back. That was a nice thing.
Yeah, Fauci.
Fauci dog. And please rate the show on iTunes. We were asking people to do that. It is good for our advertisers and whatnot. So go to iTunes, just rate it a 5-star, leave a thing. It's free. Just leave a little one-liner. Just say, hey, put the camera on Jabes the whole time. You can say that if you want.
You can say that if you want.
I get it.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah.
Everyone's so nice to me here. It's like crazy. Like nobody says anything.
You're beloved.
I'm beloved, but it's like there's no way that's true. Like there has
true.
to be people on here that are like, she's annoying. But they just don't want to say it.
You're beloved, Japes. No, you're one of those people who's beloved.
It's weird to think that.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Like on Drinkin Bros, everybody has their favorites, and I understand all of them. They also hate the guy who has to read the fucking sponsors, but it pays for the show and pays for our lives.
They support us.
Yeah, it's great.
So that we're here free for you.
Yeah, but universally, you're beloved on everything, Japes.
Well, it's weird.
You transcend.
It's weird, but thank you.
Yeah, you're beloved, Japes. Look at that, huh? Huh?
But I always said maybe it's because I've like not reached a level where people feel, you know what I mean? Where
they can really hate you.
Yeah, well, nobody's gonna like kick the underdog, right? But like if you make it to a certain level. Like, look at George Clooney's fucking IMDb.
Yeah. When they used to do message boards. It was
where it was just like people hated him. And you're like, George Clooney? What?
Well, let me ask you this. The girls on the Morning Toast, do they get any kickback?
Yeah.
People hate them?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Anytime there's 2 girls together. It's a disaster.
Oh, maybe that's the key to it,
Maybe.
Yeah. And being hot obviously always helps.
You'd think, yeah. I mean...
So you're good to go on that.
But like the Call Her Daddy girls, like there are so many horrible reviews on there, yet they're killing it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, they've made it to a level where people feel like they're not real people and they can just like say shit, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I've met a lot of these people in the boards, so maybe they just like, in person, I really like kill it. Do you know what I mean? Like when I meet you. Right? I'm very Tom Cruise, don't you think?
Yes.
It's you and me only.
Yeah. And
when I'm talking to you, you're the only person in the room.
Too much time talking to people, Japes.
Oh, who?
I'm totally kidding.
Craig. I love Craig, though.
No,
I could hang out with him all night.
We were at what function were we at in Vegas? People were just chatting you up for hours. And I was just like, hey, we got to get the fuck out of here.
But why do we have to get the fuck out of here?
We had to go to dinner. We had a dinner thing with one of the things.
No, you were tired of me getting as much shine as I got.
I love you. I said you're always the fucking superstar, James.
You're like, we've got to go. I go, it's Vegas. It's midnight. You're like, oh,
we were meeting people though, for real. And I was like, Jesus, man. I was like,
but I wanted to eat it up.
What are we gonna tell the people at dinner? Oh, hey, my wife was too famous, and
for once in her life, one time, and you couldn't handle it. That I was the star one time.
It's totally untrue.
It's absolutely true, and you guys all know that that's true.
No, I literally said, hey, man, we can't tell these people at dinner. Oh yeah, I was sorry. I was out being famous and shit, and I couldn't come on time, and sorry you had to sit here.
Oh,
so
I could say it. You should have had me say it. I'm so sorry. I should have just sent Ross here without me. He wasn't famous there. No one was keeping him from dinner. I should have just sent him first.
By the way, that dinner was too late. Midnight was a little much for that.
It was too late.
Yeah, food was good. That's too much.
it's too much too late. Are you saying just like people aren't, they're at a level
You can't go to your favorite restaurant at midnight no matter what.
No.
Like, unless you're an NBA player who's like, hey, man, I just finished the game and you're going to drop me off and I'm going to have a real dinner. But yeah, at the end of a long day in Vegas, that's too much. That's too late.
It's too much. You have to get a slice or something. Or
yeah, that's it. Call it a day. Walk it on off.
No, you're right. I didn't know what that place was. We were just kind of like, oh, pub. But it ended up being like a really nice full-on dinner.
Yeah.
With our drunk asses. Yeah. Boobs falling out.
And there's and one of those places too where the waitress has to explain the 19 menu items on like a charcuterie.
I know.
This is meat from Germany and this is cheese from
she's like, and you have
Switzerland.
10 minutes to get it in, by the way.
Yeah, and I just looked at her and every fiber of my being just wanted to say, look, I don't give a goddamn shit if you brought out a dead dog cut up into 18 pieces. We would eat it right now.
I think you actually did say that.
Oh,
you may not remember, but you definitely had that vibe that night. You were very like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You were done.
It's too late.
But I was on a high from being so famous and beloved, and so I was like, yeah, and you were like, ugh.
Yeah.
Nobody looked at me. I'm over it. You know what I mean?
No one said that. No one said that.
I'm just joking, dude. I'm joking, bro. But you were definitely over it, and I was like ready to go. And then Tiffany got broccoli rabe only, and I was like, good night, girlfriend.
What the fuck is that?
Have broccoli rabe is like it's like broccolini. It's kind of like the longer broccoli, right?
Is that what she ordered that night?
Only.
Gross.
So have fun in that hotel room.
Yeah, she was probably just farting through the sheets.
Farting through the sheets.
Yeah.
Ended up going to a club, so I'm just.
Oh, that's right. She went out to like 5 a.m.
Yeah, so it had to be whatever guys were around her were feeling the love.
Good luck.
Just joking. She didn't say that, but.
Well, she's married. Her husband wasn't there. She can shit her brains out. Doesn't matter. You know?
It's true.
Who cares? He's not going to know.
It's true.
He doesn't listen to this show, so.
No.
Fuck it. Fuck it. But you guys do, and we're here every single day of the week. We will be here until the country reopens, and then even maybe afterwards, we might just keep this going. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.